All right, good evening and welcome to this evening's International EduLink webinar that's going to focus on tertiary studies in Europe. And I'm happy to be hosting this as Hilton's Director for International Learning, helping to coordinate our boys' applications to universities outside South Africa. And we've partnered with EduLink because of their experience and expertise, and in particular, the success they've had with Hilton boys in the past in getting into their universities of choice internationally. And part of that choice is thinking about options outside of the US and the UK, which are kind of well-worn paths for Hilton boys, and thinking about options elsewhere. And so some of the countries tonight that Christine and Wade at EduLink will focus on are Germany, Hungary, the Netherlands, Switzerland and Spain, as well as medicine, veterinary, hotel and business schools also in Europe. And there's some really interesting options there. For me, in particular, around medicine and veterinary science, where they've had real success with South African applicants at globally recognized institutions. So I'd like to invite you to please listen and enjoy the expert advice we get from Christine and Wade, and thank you to them for their support for our community.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much, Lexi. For everybody that's listening, thank you for tuning into our webinar. My name is Christine and welcome to the webinar. For those of you who it's a first time webinar, you might have missed our UK and US webinars. This is the one about Europe. If you do want to catch up with any of the previous ones, they are all on YouTube, and I'm sure Mr. Dubois can help you with accessing that. If not, please contact us. Okay, so tonight, first of all, we're going to start with Germany. Germany, something very different about Germany. I don't know if you know about it, but university tuition is free in Germany. Yeah, that's correct, totally free. There's no charge at all. This is for all the state universities, and there are more than 300 state universities in Germany. There's one little issue about it, though. It is all in German. The tuition is all taught in German, but don't be fazed about that, because we've sent many, many learners across to Germany and they cope very, very well. How the process works, you will join first because you're going to finish school at the end of this year or end of next year. And in January, you start a very intense language course in Germany. We will talk about COVID later. If things aren't ready in time, there's all the contingency plans in place. Don't worry about that. But it's a very intense German course, and as I said, we've sent many students there. They all cope very, very well. And basically, within 3 or 4 months, they're fluent in German. And it's not like learning conversational German. This is like, it's really teaching students to learn to study and think in German as well. So that's what it's all about. You will be, after you've done your intense course, you then go into the language school helps you to choose the right university for your program, meaning, say, you wanted to study architecture. They would find the right university and the best one in architecture in Germany, and then help you with that whole process. Then the next thing is, then you'd start in the September, hopefully September next year, which would be 2021, is when you'd start at the university. It's a 3-year bachelor's degree. If you want to go on to honors, it's an extra year. But then once you've graduated, the good thing is you can stay there. You get a visa to work in Germany for 18 months after you've graduated. So if you can find work, which I'm sure most of our students have found work with no problem, that means you can actually apply for a work permit, and you stay a little bit longer, you can actually get your EU citizenship. So this is what a lot of students actually enjoy about Germany, because basically they're also learning another language, which is huge on your CV one day. Any more information that you do want with regards to Germany, please just pop us an email. We'll give you all our contact details later on in the program. So now from Germany, we're going to move across to Hungary. Hungary is the most affordable study destination in Europe. It is extremely affordable for students to live there as well. Also, the tuition fees are affordable. And for example, the medicine school in Hungary that we work with is actually our most popular medical school where we send all our students to, and not all of them, but the majority of them go there. And what's good about it is that it's affordable as well. It's top teaching. There you can see on the map where Hungary is, guys. So you can see it's right in the center of Europe. You're surrounded by a lot of European countries. It's safe, it's secure, very, very safe country to live in. And I said it's affordable as well. Everybody can understand English, so you won't really battle. And the teaching in Hungary is all in English. So now in Hungary, we've got some very, very interesting programs. Obviously, we've got all the non-medical programs like your engineering and programs such as that. And they are very affordable, guys. It's about $6,000 a year tuition fee. And your living expenses, as I said, are not expensive either. Then we've got our medical degrees in Hungary as well. And we're going to go more into the medical later and veterinary. So that'll come towards the end of today's program. But there you can actually see the cost there, $69,000 for medicine. So just remember that when we get onto the medicine side. What is a very popular program also that we want to just mention now, besides all the non-medical programs, is piloting, because we get a lot of boys, even girls, ask us about piloting, and we really, really recommend Hungary as probably the best study destination for piloting. Let me tell you why. You'll get all your normal training, you'll get your commercial pilot's license, you get all your hours, and you're working with Lufthansa Airlines. The university we work with have done a tie-up with Lufthansa, so you're going to get the very best teaching and everything else, best training. Now, what's extra special and good, you're not only going to come out with a degree of your piloting, well, it's not a degree, but you're going to get your piloting license. It's a dual degree. In other words, you can link it with an engineering degree, which is great. You could also link it with a business degree. And why I say it's so good is because we find a lot of students really want to do piloting, but when they get a little bit older, then they don't want to be away from family. When they've got kids, they can always fall back on their engineering degree or a business degree. So it's a great combination to have. And if you want to know the price of the program, it's $25,000 a year. I know it's expensive, but just remember, you're coming out with your commercial pilot's license. You'll have achieved all the air miles, plus you'll come out with a degree as well, which I think is very valuable. So that we've also got our vet school in Hungary, and we're going to go on to that a little bit later. But as I said, everything in Hungary is in English. Now we'd like to show you a little video. My colleague's just going to go onto the video now. I think it's important to see the video in Hungary because it just shows you the level of university that we're talking about there.
Okay, if you just give me a second, Christine.
Okay. It's beautiful, beautiful campus. I think it's that one, yeah.
This is the Health Science Center, one of Europe's fastest developing medical institutions. We constantly keep up with the technological innovations of today, and since 1987, provide a wide variety of English language doctoral programs and health science training in one of the most beautiful campuses in Europe. Every year, more and more students gather here from all over the world.
Hi, my name is Ravi, and I'm a fifth-year medical student at the University of Debrecen. Before I came to this university, I researched into many other European universities. I found that this place has the best to offer in terms of education, its research opportunities, and its general social life.
The research and development takes place at the university's doctoral schools and clinics. We invite teachers from other universities, as well as other highly qualified members of research institutions to take part. This allows extensive scientific research and versatile training for students.
My name is Ingrid. I'm from Estonia. I conduct my research here in medical chemistry lab. So I'm very glad that I chose this lab.
With its internationally competitive staff, the University of Debrecen provides well-trained, open-minded professionals with a wide scope. We traditionally pay much attention to the high standard of training, talent development, and the well-being of our students.
Hello, my name is William Pagaxis, and I am from Connecticut, United States. I am studying in the dentistry program, and I heard of this university through my uncle and aunt, and they both graduated from this school as well.
This is the Canesi Library, where most of the group studies take place. Our students can find several useful resources here, including computers, textbooks, CDs, and free wireless internet. On campus, there are several student hostels with a very friendly international community. The students also enjoy the university's hometown, Debrecen.
Hi, my name is Heda, and I'm a third-year student here at the University of Debrecen. The University of Debrecen is located a little bit outside the city center of Debrecen, which is nice. It's surrounded by a forest, a beautiful little lake, and a park, where you can go jogging or walking or even have small barbecues in the summer. Here I'm standing outside one of the biggest shopping centers in Debrecen, where I can find clothing stores, grocery stores, and a lot of cafes and restaurants.
As the second largest and one of the most beautiful cities in Hungary, Debrecen provides a wide variety of sport and entertainment possibilities for our students.
Hello, my name is Maran Aboud. It's my fourth year now. You just can feel the diploma that you can get from this university. It's like a master key in your hand that you can unlock which door you want in the world.
The English diploma you receive here is widely accepted in Europe by the Association of Medical Schools. It's accredited by WHO, the U.S. Department of Education, the State Education Department of New York, the Medical Board of California, and the General Medicine Council of the UK, Israel, Iran, and India as well.
For more information, contact the university.
Okay, so from there you can see it's a beautiful campus. Really, it's spectacular. We've been there for medical students. We've watched open heart surgery there. It is a top medical school in Europe for cardiac. It's attached to a hospital. And so basically students get a lot of practical experience as well. We'll go more into the medical a little bit later. But anybody interested in Hungary, as I said, we've got all the non-medical degrees plus the piloting. And then basically it's a beautiful, beautiful campus, ranked very highly in the world. The next country we're going to go to now is the Netherlands. My colleague's going to just wait. It's going to put up some information on the Netherlands now. Okay, so you can see there, yeah, these are the universities that we work with in the Netherlands. You can see their names there. Cost is around about, I think, 16,000 euros a year. Everything is also in English. There you can see some of your program choices. most of the universities are either based in Amsterdam or The Hague, which is the capital. A few of them are a little bit outside as well, but you know, Holland is a small country, and if you need more information on Holland or Netherlands, please come back to us and we'll be able to give you more info on whatever program you want to study and pricing and everything else. We do also have foundation pathways going into these universities as well. Okay, so I think that covers the Netherlands briefly. And from here, we'd like to go to Switzerland. We've got quite a lot to share with you on Switzerland. But basically, Switzerland is one of our favorite locations for hospitality and culinary arts. We work with a number of very reputable institutions that offer these programs. They basically offer students the opportunity to study, as I said, culinary or hotel skills, and they also are linked to a business program as well. So what the good thing about that is you also can fall back on a business management course as well as your hotel experience. I think this would be extremely important at a time like now with COVID, when hospitality has been badly hit. At least students will have that to fall back on, as they would as piloting, that they've got another degree that is very affordable and workable as well. So with this in mind, beautiful lifestyle in Switzerland, beautiful student res. The cost is around about 36,000 Swiss francs per year. And the way it works in Switzerland is a little bit different to a university. You have 6 months of tuition and 6 months where you've actually got a work internship, meaning you would go out, they would place you at a hotel, and you're going to get the practical work experience. Another good thing about finishing your degree there, once you've graduated, you are guaranteed a work placement at any good 4 or 5 star hotel anywhere in the world. If you'd like more information on Switzerland, please come back to us. Now from here, we're going to move on to business schools, because I know there's a lot of boys that always ask us about business schools. One of the very unique ones in Europe is one that actually offers you global business rotation. What does global business rotation mean? That purely means you're going to spend periods in different countries in Europe. So you would spend 1 semester or a year, if you chose, in Switzerland. You can spend another year or semester in Germany, in Munich, and another one in Spain. So what this all entails is you're going to learn different business skills in each country. You can learn a little bit about each language, and that's a great, very diverse way of learning business. Then we have another program which is a little bit more expensive, and that one goes further afield than Europe. It has a program in France, in Paris, one in London, one in this is also semester or year. You can choose how you want to divide it up, but you can choose between Paris, London, New York, Boston, San Francisco. Also a great way of getting an idea of how business is run in different countries. This is not a huge lecture hall environment. You're actually involved in small classes, a lot of interaction. You work on a lot of projects as well. So it is really, really good. And anybody else interested in business that didn't join us on our UK webinar, we've got an excellent business opportunity in the UK where you do business enterprise, and they even give you an opportunity to start your own business. It's discussed quite in depth in our UK webinar. If you want more information on that, please let us know. Okay, we've covered the business schools, the hotel schools. We'd now like to just talk a little bit more about medical schools for anybody that's interested. Now, I know I think we've got 2 Hilton boys that have already applied through us to study medicine. I think both are in Hungary. As I said, Hungary is most definitely our most popular study destination for medicine. Purely because it's been tried and trusted over the last decade. We've sent many students there. It's excellent teaching. As I mentioned earlier, it's the best cardiac in Europe. And how do you apply to go and study for medicine? Anybody interested, please, especially if you're in grade 12, it's critically important that you apply straight away. Because you've got to the application has to be sent off, and then you would be invited to sit an entrance exam. What does the entrance exam mean? That means it's nothing that you have to learn. You'll get a couple of topics to research on, and then you have a Skype meeting with one of the professors, and you would be asked relevant questions. It'll be a written and an oral exam. They also want to find out why you want to study medicine, because it's very important to be passionate about it. And from the results from that exam, they will then advise you whether you are eligible to go into year 1, which would start in September every year, or they might recommend that you do a pre-med. They're not going to decline or fail you. Once you get invited to the medical entrance exam, you know that you are approved, and it's just a matter of testing whether you go into year 1 or the entrance exam area, at least the pre-med. Now, pre-med starts every year in January, so you must understand if you're in grade 12 this year, it's very important that you apply straight away, because we will be doing all our entrance exams either late August or early September. And the boys that have already applied, you will be contacted soon. And then that is going to determine when you're going to start in 2021. It's also important to get this done promptly, because the visa has to happen as well. If you're going to go in January, it doesn't give us much time to get the visa done, and visas do take a little bit of time. Anybody interested in vet schools, we've got a really amazing vet school in Budapest, which is the capital of Hungary. It is one of the oldest vet schools in the world, and basically the cost for that is €12,000 a year. Sorry guys, I forgot to mention the pricing on Hungary Medical School. That is $16,500 US dollars, not euro. The vet school, €12,000. The same applies. You're going to be asked to do an entrance exam, and from the entrance exam, from there you would be able to ascertain whether you're going to start the pre-med or in the January, or also the start in year 1 in September. Now, vet schools, we've also got vet schools in the UK, very much more expensive though. Well, there we're looking at some really good pictures on the vet school there. It's not just domestic animals, it's all the farm animals, game, exotics, covers everything. And as I said, it's one of the oldest medical schools in the world. So, I mean, you get excellent training. Some information there that you can have a look, see. All in English as well. Everything is done in English, so that you don't have, the only country that you have to study in a different language is Germany. And there you can also see cost of living in Budapest. It's relatively affordable as well. So what happens, you do your normal generic veterinary degree, and once you've completed that, you then can specialize in whichever area if you want. If you want to specialize in exotics, in farm animals, whatever. Now, as I said, there's also a vet degree in the UK. but it's a lot more expensive. It's £36,000. So now you can understand why Hungary is so popular. We even get a lot of students we know that have gone there from the UK, even because they can't afford the UK costs. They go, we've got UK students, students from Australia, from America, from all over the world are going to the vet school, which is a lot older than the ones in the UK. So I think that covers the vet schools. You know what I did miss? Sorry. When we were speaking about medicine, I mentioned the medicine school in Hungary, but we can also offer you medicine in many other countries as well, particularly the UK, but more expensive. US, it is £36,000, which is a huge amount more. And you'd also have to first get your A levels. So you can understand why it is more practical to look at Hungary. It's a lot more affordable. The education is just as good. It's all in English, and it's an esteemed and well-recognized university. If you want to study medicine and you're looking at countries like the USA, Canada, or Australia, please understand you've first got to do a BSc course before you can actually even start your medicine program. So that means by the time you finished, it probably is going to be about 10 years till you qualify. So again, it makes more sense. Go to Hungary, all in English. You can specialize afterwards, and you know, within 5-6 years, you've actually got your medicine degree. Okay, so I think that then we've also got Ireland, where you could do medicine and veterinary, and Ireland obviously is also in Europe. But Ireland was covered on our first webinar we did, which was the UK webinar. So if anybody is interested in Ireland, please let us know, and we can send you that video as well. We work with Trinity College in Ireland. And the good thing about Ireland is students do not need a visa if they have a passport from South Africa, Botswana, Lesotho, or Eswatini, Swaziland. You do not need a visa. Now, coming to the question of visas, we will do what we do is we do all the visa work for you. We also partner with one of the largest tour operators being travel agents. And over COVID, it has been hugely important to work with a big company, because they've been able to organize all our students' travel. A lot of students have decided to actually still go this September, particularly the ones going to Ireland and Hungary. Most of them are going. The UK ones are staying behind. Just a question of choice. But it's important through COVID to work with a company that knows all the ins and outs of COVID, and they book you on repat flights. With a study acceptance offer, you are eligible to fly. But if you don't want to go and you want to rather wait till COVID sort of drops a little bit, and we've seen some back to normal life, you are able to study online. All our university partners have got very, very good online programs. They basically you've got, besides the online teaching, you've got a lot of interaction with your tutor, and it works very well. And what is going to be important, you're going to meet other students while you're studying online because of all the interaction that you've got electronically. So by the time you do actually go over, you've already made friends. So I think COVID is a new experience for everybody. But we are proud to say that all our partners have not lost any academic time throughout the whole COVID process. Everything has been very, very, very well run. And so we hope that for the students leaving in 2021, it'll be back to normal, but we will help you as and when and how it needs to happen, because nobody knows from day to day. But students are still selecting overseas universities more than ever at the moment. and probably this is because their programs are run so well online and with blended hybrid programs that they have. Also, if you'd like us to arrange a virtual meeting with your parents, we're very happy to do so. It's a no-charge virtual meeting. It's the best way to be able to understand your particular needs. And all you need to do is email us on either marketing@int-edulink.co.za or mail@int-edulink.co.za. So if you send us an email, say you'd like to organize a virtual meeting, give us some suggested times and we will gladly arrange this with you. I know Hilton boys are going home for your, is it your half term soon? We're based in Joburg, so even though it's difficult to do face meetings, we'd be very happy to organize a virtual meeting for you guys when you've got a little bit of a break. It's a good time to start thinking about this, and we'd happily organize. It's a free meeting, there's no charge whatsoever, but it's a huge decision you're making, so it's important to understand what it's all about. Just to give you a little bit of background about the services we offer, all the applications do go via EduLink. We've got a very competent admissions team that have been doing this for many years, and they will help you from the start of your application right through to even your graduation and beyond. We've even been invited to weddings of Hilton boys because they've been so enamored with the service they've got and the wonderful experience they had overseas, that when they got married, we got invited to. So you become part of the EduLink family when you apply through us. There is an application fee charged. It's normally 1,950, but for Hilton boys, we drop it to 1,500. You just use the promo code Hilton, Hilton, which you know, and it must be in capital letters, and then you'll be eligible for the reduced application fee. And guys, if you're in grade 12 this year, it's very important to apply ASAP. So then what happens when we get your application? We assess it, we open a file, and at that stage, we then contact you and have a brief discussion, advising where we believe is the best route to go, listen to what your thoughts are about it, and then the application gets sent off. Now, we do charge a service fee for the submission of the application because the application submission is quite intense. We have to pay application fees to universities. We also have to pay, if there's an entrance exam, we've got to pay for that as well. We also do the visa counseling, which is very, very important. You don't want to be going and trying to do this yourself because it's quite, you need to know what it's all about. So it includes in your service fee, it's the whole admissions process, it's the charge of admissions fees to universities, entrance exams, visa counseling, and then access to our travel services, which are really worth every cent because you are getting all the best. The travel agent we work with works with DIRCO, which is Department of Foreign Affairs, over COVID to make sure you get on the right repacked flights. Because they're a big company, you get their corporate benefits of good pricing, one free ticket change. In most instances, you get 40 kgs luggage instead of 20 because this is an EduLink offer that we provide. And for students that are going overseas, it's very important to get that little bit of extra baggage allowance. And this option, travel option, is open to you and your family throughout your study period. And we know students come home at least once a year. Parents might go over to visit. So every time you're flying, there is a benefit on the travel costs, which actually many students have said way far outweighs what they've paid on the service fee. So I think I've covered everything. We now just need to ask if there's any questions and answers, which we'd gladly be able to answer for you. Wade, are there any questions?
Okay, yeah, there's a few questions that came in. Someone asked, how can we contact you about Netherlands universities? So if you just look in the Q&A section, you can I've written down my email address. You can just pop me an email and then I will write back to you with more information about the Netherlands. Okay.
Okay.
And then the next question is, when should we apply?
If you're in grade 12, yesterday, please. That's very important you apply as soon as possible, because we're already in August. Everything is taking a little bit longer now because of COVID. A lot of university staff are also working from home. So as you can imagine, it takes a little bit longer, but we've got a competent team here, so we will help you as best we can. And I think because of the fact the Hilton boys are all going off on half term, this is a wonderful opportunity to do it now before you go back to school and have to start all your, I'm sure there'll be prelims coming up as well. Grade 11s can also apply, especially if they're going into medicine. It's important to apply soon as well. But for grade 12s, everybody, please apply before you go back from your half term, please, because there's a lot of work to be done. And also on our side, we're all working remotely at the moment. We've only got 2 people working from the office. So it's important on our side. We do try and be as quick as possible, but it's just not as normal as ever. Okay, there I think you've seen our normal fee is 1950. As I said, we're dropping that to 1,500. We will keep that 1,500. I don't know. I'll find out from Mr. De Boer when you guys go back to school. So whatever you guys know the date better than us, but until that date, we will keep the 1,500 application fee in place for you. I think Wade's showing you all the things you have to do when you apply. But any questions, look, studying overseas is complicated. We advise you guys, it's really important to work through a company such as ours because we've been doing it for over a decade. We've been sending students abroad. Particularly now with COVID, it's even more complex. But I can tell you our parents are very happy that their students are abroad at the moment because they've seen there's been no academic time lost. Everything is well organized. It's safe. We haven't had one incident at all of anybody getting COVID. So, it's worthwhile looking at it. To go and try and do this on your own, websites can be very deceiving. And, when you actually get there, a lot of students have had big shocks. So we ask all about you as a student. We like to know a little bit about you and your family. We want to know what you want to study. Look at your academic ability. It's very important to know what your student budget is so that we can, recommend the most affordable routes for you. And believe me, we do have very affordable routes. We haven't really mentioned them in this video today because it's, we've mentioned Hungary affordable, but we've got far more affordable than that. We've got amazing study destinations in the Mediterranean that are less than 100,000 a year, all in with tuition, living expenses, 3 meals a day, and very affordable online programs as well. Yeah, here Wade has just put up about writing the perfect personal statement. I know Mr. De Boer has been working with you guys about that, but if you need more tips, it's on our website under the blog section. Your personal statement is very important. Let me tell you why. Because whoever's reading this in a university office doesn't know you, They don't know Hilton College. And, you know, you need to tell the story about yourself. So you say who you are, all your aspirations, why you want to study the program you want to study, why you want to study in that country. Make it interesting, not too long, about 300 words. And when an application goes in through a company like ourselves, it's already rubber stamped. So, you know, what happens is if you had to say there were 100 university applications going into a university, say for engineering, and the ones that come from companies like ourselves, I'll be honest, get priority because they know they've been properly vetted. So your chances of getting into these universities are better. Plus also, when you go towards your visa as well, it's a lot easier when you work through somebody like ourselves because you don't have the double vetting that students have when they try and do it on their own. So we do charge a service fee, as I said, and the service fee is dependent on the country. The country that you're going to study in, it's been worked out about based on how many hours our admissions team work on one application. At the end of an application, the file can be full of papers. So it's time, it's effort, it's phone call, interaction, as I said, and all the benefits that we've provided. So pop us an email, we'll let you know what the service fees are per country. It really depends on the country and the program that you're going to study. And as I said, it covers, you know, entrance exams and all that. You'll pay one fee. You don't have to get asked for another fee again for a visa or anything. Everything is covered in there, other than the visa charge that you have to pay to the authorities. What we do is the counselling, and then you have to pay a minimal charge to actually get your visa. I think we've covered everything. Is there any other questions, Wade?
There was one question about the personal statement. Someone asked if I'm applying for 2 different courses, do I have to write 2 different personal statements?
Well, yes, you would. You can have a template of one, and then you can change it basically if you want to do. So if you're applying for civil engineering and then your other program choices may be architecture, you just change it accordingly. So there's not a lot to change, but it is important to make it unique to the program that you're going to study and also the country you're going to go and study in. Any other questions, Wade?
Some boys are asking, what kind of marks do I need to get into a European university?
You know, a benchmark is normally 5 subjects over 65%. And I know that's a relief to hear because eligibility is actually better overseas than it is locally. Basically, if you don't make those marks even, then we do have many foundation pathways that you can take. And with a foundation pathway, it's actually very good because you start in the January. That's why it's important to get your application in now. So if you don't make it into first year, you've got the alternative of a pathway option to fall back on. But then you have to start in January. It's about a 4 or 5 months program. You study on the campus where you're going to be studying. And you have a student card just as you would at university, but your classes are smaller. And it's a great way of being able to understand university life, that transition between school and university life, a new country, a new culture. And by the time you do start in the September, year 1, you're ahead of the game opposed to other students that are starting fresh in year 1. So we can safely say we will get you into a university because, as I said, if you don't make it for year 1, we'll get you in through a foundation year. But that doesn't mean to say you mustn't do your best with your results because obviously it's very important on your career moving forward, that you really do your best for your matric. Any other questions, Wade?
Yeah, I think the last one that come through, are there any sports scholarships?
Not really, no, there's not really, but Wade would be better to say that, talk about sports scholarships, because he's studied overseas before and he knows about them. But what I do want to say with Hungary, before I give it over to Wade, there is a Hungarian stipendium scholarship, okay? We don't get the details of it until about the end of November every year. It's a very, very prestigious scholarship. It covers 100% of your tuition fees. It gives you a monthly stipend, but there are 100 of them given out to South African students every year. But they choose the very, very best. So it is, that scholarship is based on merit. You've really got to have top marks. So what you need to do is apply in the meantime. Don't wait for the scholarship to come out. You need to apply now, as normal. Once the scholarship comes out, we will let you know, and then you just add that onto your application. So basically, then we'll give you all the tips of how to go about the scholarship when it comes out. It's towards the end of November, early end of November, sometime in November. Wade can talk a little bit about sports scholarships, and anybody that's a basketball or water polo. I mean, Hungary is a great country for water polo, and there's amazing sporting facilities as well. But Wade, you can talk more a little bit about the sports scholarships.
Yeah. Look, over the years, in terms of scholarships, what we've seen is, I mean, the very most important thing that the universities look at is your academic results. So that's the very first thing. If it is good, then usually we are successful in getting every student some kind of scholarship or international bursary, which will be a discount onto your fees. For sports scholarships, they're not very common, but what we have seen is universities would reward the students. If you represented the university first team rugby or soccer or basketball, anything like that, they would reward you with a sports bursary. But it would probably be capped at about 25% of your tuition fees. So it's not a full scholarship, but it does. Obviously, it's a nice discount, and you can put that towards your housing or your entertainment. So it just depends on how you represent the university teams, basically. Yeah.
All right. And talking about scholarships, if you find that any of these university prices are beyond, your budget, as I said earlier, we do have very affordable routes as well, and there's nothing wrong with them. They're not cheap and nasty. They're amazing routes. We've had Hilton boys go to quite a number of them. So one of them is North Cyprus in the Mediterranean. Amazing campuses, idyllic location. So we've got, and that's what we offer. We try to accommodate the student and tailor make a study package to suit you. So it's all about where you are academically, that you'll fit in at the right academic level. It's no good if you're a mediocre student trying to get into Oxford and Cambridge type universities, that you can always look at a master's. But undergrad, look at, basically where your academic level will allow you. So it's your academic level that we look at, your program choice. We'll find you the right university, the best one for your program choice. Also lifestyle choice. I heard you talking to Wade about all these sports scholarships. So obviously, if you're a competitive sports student, you want to be in a university that's got a lot of sporting activities, and we will assist you there as well. And then most importantly, the budget. So when we know all those questions, we're able to, we've got a big enough portfolio of universities throughout the world that we can find you the right one. Anything else, Wade?
I think that's all for the questions, but I just want everyone to know that these webinars are recorded, and you can find our previous ones on our YouTube channel. Just type in EduLink SA, and then you can have a look at the one that we did a month ago on medicine and veterinary, and then last week we presented on USA and Canada, and then we did another one in UK and Ireland. So you can always check those out and share that with your friends. And in terms of how to apply, you can just go into our website, you click apply now, and it'll take you to this form here. And you don't have to do it in one go. You can, work on it and come back, save it for later and come back to it. You can upload all of your academic transcripts and certificates here, and it'll come straight to our office. Okay.
Yeah. I want to say as well something that's also quite important. You guys you're starting out your life. What is important and a good tip to know is it sometimes makes sense to start your undergrad in one country and your postgrad somewhere else. It's another country. And we're here for all those different changes for you. Once you started with EduLink, we're here till you graduated and beyond. As I said, we've even been to weddings. So, and a lot of the universities also have what's called an Erasmus program. Erasmus program means that you can do one semester in another country also. So it's so many great opportunities for you. You don't have to spend your whole university study experience just in one country. You can experience other countries as well. Some countries you can work while you study and earn as well. There's certain countries you can stay afterwards. As I said, with Germany, you do have that stay behind visa. The same with Ireland, the UK. Hungary, it doesn't apply, but definitely with Germany, UK and Ireland, you have this, and the USA, you have the stay behind visa. Next, when you get back from your long-term break, that's when we're going to be doing Australia, New Zealand and Mauritius. But I must just explain, Australia is quite expensive. But for those students that are interested in Australia, it's good to have a look. And there are ways that you can get into Australia more affordably through Mauritius. But this is what we are able to give you, the smart routes whereby to go. Because we've been doing this for well over a decade, so we know which are the ways to help the students to minimize the cost and also minimize the years. We've got some programs where you can get your honours degree done in 2 years. So, these are all the little tips we can help you with. I think we've covered everything tonight, but as Wade said, you can get the recording of this webinar. And any questions, please go to marketing at EduLink or mail it into EduLinks, and we'll be happy to answer your questions. Also to arrange a virtual meeting with you and your parents, your sponsor, over this coming half-term break. But please, guys, grade 12s, promise me you'll get your applications in before you go back, because it does take time now with COVID. And you don't want to leave things till the last minute when you're writing your matric exams. Thanks so much to everybody for joining us tonight, and we hope we've been able to give you some good information, and we look forward to helping you achieve your goals with your study aspirations. Thank you. Good night, everybody.